Some of the footage in this video is from Internet Archives. The links will be found down below. Grab a winter coat because we are headed to the icy tundra of Siberia, and this time without the main crew, instead an ensemble cast of characters. Call of the Dead is zombies at its finest, and it's the only map I can say hasn't been remastered, unless you count the fantastic community-made version in Black Ops 3. Of course, there is Tag der Toten, which I will discuss one day, but there's enough differences that I don't consider it a remaster. In today's video, I will break down the map that made every player want to grab a coat, the stories of the map and features, and of course, the race for the world's first Easter egg, Ensemble Cast. I should say Easter eggs because unlike others in Black Ops 1, this had a solo version too, called Stand-In. Who became the world's first team? How did they solve the many puzzles to reach the end? And why did Treyarch have a bunch of horror legends including George Romero here? Rest in peace, Mr. Romero. The map pack Escalation, which held 4 maps, Zoo, Convoy, Hotel, and Stockpile, offered Call of the Dead as well. PvP players could be enticed with a large experience while having a zombies map to fall back to in a brand new location. If you pay close attention to the loading screen, you can see some jungle-like plants in the top right of a ripped page. That is important for the next map coming up in this series. The game explains as background that George Romero found a lot of old Nazi documents including 115, time travel, Group 935, and more. This led George to become obsessed with 115, and he wanted to shoot a horror movie on location in Siberia with a cast of veteran horror actors. We have Robert Englund, best known as Freddy Krueger.
Been guarding my gate for a long time.
Michael Rooker, aka Yondu, or for zombies fans, Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead.
I'm very poppin', y'all.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, who is known as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and my first crush, and Daphne from the Scooby-Doo movies.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm Richard, and you are?
So not interested.
And Danny Trejo rocking his machete in the intro from, Machete.
Machete don't text.
George Romero is the father of the zombie, and with his movie Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, it felt like only a matter of time that Activision and Treyarch would have him involved in some way. In an archived investor document, we can see that Activision and Treyarch said,
"Our latest zombie creation, Call of the Dead, is unreal. We set out to create an exciting new zombie experience for fans of the genre that takes zombies to an insane new level. This is Treyarch's tribute to the legendary George Romero, who truly defined the zombie genre and whose incredible work has been such an inspiration to our team. It was an absolute honor to work with such an amazing and talented cast whose passion and energy brought their characters instantly to life. Fans are going to love this."
Zombies had referenced George in more ways than one. Nacht und Toten was Night of the Living Dead in German, and other than zombies themselves, monkey bombs and monkey rounds from Ascension were inspired by Romero's work in the film Monkey Shines. Jimmy Zielinski would be in charge of directing all of Black Ops 1 Zombies, and in his words,
"The first map that ever shipped for zombies had no player characters, they were all soldiers. So this was the first departure from that, and in response to the community and user testing, we just realized how popular it was."
It didn't hurt that Activision's Call of Duty series is one of the biggest names in gaming. While Zielinski didn't work specifically with the actors, his team was more gameplay oriented after all, there were other teams that recorded dialogue and acting. He said that,
"Call of the Dead is simply put Treyarch's homage to the granddaddy of zombies. His movies have served as such an inspiration to us. We're all really happy with our choices and their performances, and it sounds like the fans are responding as well."
The map begins with one hell of an introduction. That's right. Not only are you fighting hordes of zombies, but there is also a large George Romero with a studio light as a club following the player around at all times. If you've played Resident Evil 2 and dealt with Mr. X, then George was a familiar type of zombie. If you shot George, it would enrage him. And until he was cooled off in the freezing cold water, you just couldn't stop him. George Romero might be the most unique zombie in the entire series because there's so many weird details and unique ways to deal with him that there's an entire wiki page dedicated to his zombie. George can be killed easiest in solo, with him having only 250,000 health. Multiply that by 4, and you have a co-op kill on George. You can see his health visualized by the color of the light changing based on the damage. And there's a lot of fun facts here, but my favorites include that the Romero model Ayers hide under quick revive if you kill him, probably due to a bug or a storage issue. It was 2011 after all, and you needed to get creative. You can also hear Romero's audio in the Shangri-La trailer, but I'm not sure I can play that audio. Activision has been claiming a lot of trailers of zombies recently, so if we can, we'll play it right here. Romero's audio was even reused in Black Ops 2's Mob of the Dead for the Warden Brutus.
You're hurting me! Why do you hurt me?
Call of the Dead's challenge wasn't just George, and it wasn't just the Easter egg, it was the fog. The fog was so freaking cool, and really played into the idea of having a lighthouse, since randomly you would go from a normal map to a pretty horrifying clouded vision with only the orange eyes of the undead staring back. Call of the Dead featured a wrecked ship, a lighthouse, and a lot of Scooby-Doo-like set pieces. This includes 2 zip lines, one that goes from the ship to the coast, and the other that goes from the lighthouse to the ship. There's an ice slide which looks so goofy, and the zombies go from being menacing to downright silly. There was also this trampoline trap that, when crossed, would send the player from the ship to the lighthouse and fling all of the zombies with them. Call of the Dead was a big change of scenery because there wasn't that many windows to even bar up or hide from. It was mostly open. Remember when I said that the Winter's Howl was awful? Well, it doesn't return here, but by standing in the water or a zombie standing in the water, it will freeze you and them the same way the Winter's Howl would. This is also the first map to have Deadshot Daiquiri, a perk that was just alright, but I do love that in Black Ops 1, Deadshot Daiquiri costs 1500 points on console, but on the PC version, it only costs 1000 because there was no aim assist when using a mouse and keyboard. It might as well be useless on mouse and keyboard in general. Deadshot reduced weapon spread by 35%. It moved the aim assist lock on location from the torso to the head of a zombie, and completely removed weapon sway while aiming down sights, and the icon is a scope of a reticle aiming at a head. Double tap was removed in Ascension and makes its return here. But don't let that fool you. Double tap still will not be good until Black Ops 2. All of the previous maps' Perca-Colas are here, even Jug. After some rounds of killing some zombies and appreciating the map, you could flick on the power from the ship. Once power was flicked on, the lighthouse and lightning lit up the skybox.
Good to see you.
Now, normally Pack-a-Punch has some sort of a puzzle to solve to reach it, but for Call of the Dead, it was just the lighthouse pointing a light at different places with an ice block bringing up Pack-a-Punch. There wasn't a puzzle to get to Pack-a-Punch, but that's because there was a puzzle for our first achievement of an Easter egg, this time with major implications and truly gratifying rewards. And it all started with this steel door.
Hey, is anyone out there? We're stuck in this room.
Put yourself back into 2011. Everything in gaming's landscape was just so much different, but Call of Duty was pushing gaming forward. And I hope that you guys are ready, because this Easter egg is nothing short of a treat. After the power was flicked on, and on day 1, knocking could be heard at the steel door.
Hello? There is a Russian stuck in the room. This is not good. Ah! I'm blind! I'm blind! In my eyes! Holy shitballs. Me too. What did you do, Richtofen?
I did nothing. There's a light switch. Oh, I think I found a lever. Perhaps this will turn on the light.
No! Ah! Let go! That's not a lever! Richtofen!
Shh! Did you hear that?
Oh, sounded like someone outside. Hey, you! Hey! I need vodka!
Hello? Can you help us? There must be a blown fuse or something. It's dark in here.
Oh, man. That's wet.
Fuse, huh? You better not be sending me on a wild goose chase, my friend.
The instructions were clear. Grab the fuse and help out the crew. From my research, I came across the channel Warfare being the first to this discovery. Just remember that just because someone was first to post it to YouTube doesn't always mean they were world's first. And there isn't a database to track every single accomplishment. So I just had to reverse search hour by hour of every single day since the Easter egg was released, just to find a first to the punch for YouTube. So again, it's not 100% accurate information, and I want to make sure that that's very clear. The fuse could be found in one of three spots: on the ground next to a locker, behind batteries next to the 115 meteorite, and on the table beside PhD Flopper. Once slotted back in, this happened.
Ah, much better. Now I can see the problem. We must have gone too far into the future. Look, the teleporter's completely broken. The time circuits are damaged. We'll have to reroute them.
Wait, you took us here on purpose? Where are we?
A better question, Dempsey.
Oh, look at this blinky light. What's this button do?
No! Oh, great, Nikolai. You've just activated the MTD security system. Excuse me.
Yeah, I see the package machine. Oh, gone.
The hunt.
They move around.
Nikolai activated the MTD security system, not knowing what it would do. The player must destroy 4 generators, signaled by 4 glowing red orbs, disabling the security system. This can be done by throwing semtexes, which is pretty helpful, but really the scavenger is what shines here the most. The scavenger was one of 2 brand new wonder weapons to Call of the Dead. The scavenger used a low 3-round magazine and had a relatively short reload time, akin to the intervention from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. When you first get the scavenger, it's a low 15 rounds, but considering the massive power, this was fine. The scavenger was an extremely powerful wonder weapon that could be used for eliminating large groups of zombies. Considering the very large damage and wide splash radius, PhD Flopper was basically needed for this to work. Now, the other downside of this weapon, besides blowing yourself up without Flopper, is that it would easily anger George if he was caught in the blast radius. Nonetheless, with the high damage, it was a weapon of choice to weaken him. This weapon is only found on Call of the Dead, and was made by a Group 935 scientist named Harvey Yenna, acting as a spy for the United States of America alongside Peter McCain, who was stationed in Varton while Yenna was in Siberia. During the war, Yenna created the Scavenger and its upgraded version, the High Yenna Infradead. He also created the vodka concoction for Nikolai, which is pretty pivotal later into the story. For step 2, a very familiar intro came in for World's First.
Hey, what's going on, people? It's Gunsfire from Next Gen Tactics, continuing with the major Easter egg. This is step 2, and this is exterminating or destroying the generators. There's 4 of them. This is the first one, and the way that you destroy them is through explosives. So you just actually toss a grenade like that, boom, and it takes the flame out. So that's the first one, and it's right near the door. So we're going to the second generator, which is right here. Again, explosives will actually do the trick. I think there's semtex in here too, so if you need to use semtex, that's fine. I'm using standard grenades and just sort of cooking them. I think I screw the first one up here. And there you go. Here we go. And there it is. There you go. So I, of course, always cook my grenades, and I think I get this one on the first shot. There you go. Nice. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Easy way to see it. There is a way to get it near the, I think it's the PhD Flopper or something like that, I believe. If you don't have the upgraded sniper rifle or whatever. But there it is. There's the last one. This is a faraway one, but when you got the explosive sniper round, we're taking a sweet time. Let's go. There we go. Last one. And then just to listen to them, we're gonna, or to the...
Once completed, they knife the door again.
Hello? I blew up all the little half-stony thingies.
Okay, that did the trick.
Ah, yes. Takeo, can you hand me that screwdriver?
Okay, you...
Is that all he's going to do this trip?
Oh, I have such a headache. I need vodka. Now ain't the time for drinking, Nikolai. I heartily disagree. Now is perfect time for drinking.
Yeah, vodka. That might give me the distraction I mean, good idea.
See, Tank? It's always good time for drinking, eh?
There couldn't possibly be anything left to drink anywhere, could there?
When doing research for this video, I just felt like I had to take a moment to appreciate 2011 YouTube. Gaming videos could just blow up for no reason. Like this one for step 2 that talks about the generators, but is missing one of the generators in the tutorial. And in the description, it just says, add me. I love YouTube. This is how we used to LFG in 2011, guys. After this step was completed and NGT posted another video for the next step, Nikolai's vodka was found. This next step has random locations, just like the fuse, but this time it's a bit more of a puzzle. You see, you need one player to stand under the vodka while the other player knife the ice block above, dropping it. The locations were on the railing above the staircase that led to PhD Flopper, on the railing above the staircase towards the AK-74U, on the railing near the M16 on the ship, and on the ledge that connects both ships. Once Nikolai has his vodka, this happened.
Hello? It sounds like you got the bottle.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much.
Come on, rectal fan. It's singing time. I feel like dancing with Third Wife, but she's doing the troika with Dave.
Wait, isn't the troika that dance that needs 3 people?
Yeah, but Third Wife, big woman. She could do both parts.
Ew.
I lie in bed, I just roll toward her, you know. Takeo, let's dance, you barfing fools.
So now that they're occupied, I was wondering, could you do a special errand for me? I need you to retrieve a very important device. It looks like a long, stiff, hard golden rod. With fingers on the end. Oh. But it will take an art crit to find the right path.
Oh, come on, you lost count
Do you guys
again,
have to be
you
so
dumbass.
cryptic?
Now we gotta
It's
start
kind of
again.
a bad day.
Don't like math.
Now this is where the players had some freedom, and while step 4 in terms of the world's first is step 5 according to guides, you could align the next 3 steps in any order you'd like. We will follow the order most players do for this video, but just know that someone from the NGT Zombies website found this first. I say website and not the creators who posted to YouTube, because although they did the service of posting it to YouTube for all of us to discover one day, it was probably somebody on the forums who made the original discovery. Next Gen Tactics was a forum site that has since been shut down. Even Internet Archives only has old videos, and if you try to go to the forum posts, they're just deleted. But the internet has changed a lot since 2011. People weren't just gonna get credited left and right for things, it was more of a first to the punch. So NGT Zombies videos unfortunately don't have names that found the discovery and what time. We just have to go off of when they were posted to forums or YouTube for the best source of information. YouTube was still mostly Let's Plays and the tutorials for the Easter eggs, and there wasn't really a storyteller for these stories. So I'm hoping to do my part in this series for that piece of it. I also tried to get in touch with somebody from NGT Zombies, but I had no luck. So if you guys know them or want to tag them or help me find them, that would be greatly appreciated for future videos in the series. This puzzle was also incredibly ahead of its time, and might be one of the only ones that allowed you to do it solo and in different orders. See, I've covered raids and puzzles in Destiny on my other channel, but the earliest of puzzle-like mechanics wasn't introduced for 3 years after Call of the Dead was pulling off some insane feats. This step needed 4 Morse code radios to be activated in the correct order, and on May 3rd again, the order was solved. Teams discovered that the radios were making some static noise, and so they went up to them and found that by interacting, it changed the sound.
Están repartidas por todo el mapa. La mía era detrás de Resistencia Plus.
La mía estaba debajo de la electricidad.
La mía estaba por donde los vagones, donde está el Titán.
Y bueno, la última es esta, la que habéis visto aquí al lado de la puerta. Y ahora vemos cómo brilla la luz, que esto es como en el modo individual. Y aquí, evidentemente, el siguiente paso.
The dials worked after a basic interaction with the dials in the Lighthouse. The order of the radios were as followed: under the power room, on top of a cabinet on the right side, next to the stamina, on top of a barrel, near the back of the second ship, where the player can buy semtexes. The next one is on a train cart next to a window on the right hand side, and finally under the steps going to the door where the original characters were trapped, on top of a cabinet. You have a limited time to hit the radios, and yes, while this could just be brute force by trying an order, this step took 2 full days after the map released to discover. And in Morse code, the message reads V-R-I-L, Vril, which has some major implications for this Easter egg and the zombie's story. The next major step in the Easter egg was discovered on May 5th again, this time to do with the wheel and the levers of the ship. Someone from the NGT Zombie forums discovered that in the power room, one must set the steering wheel to 5 o'clock position, moving the wheel so the brown handle faces 5 o'clock, pulling the first lever once and the third lever 3 times. And then this happened. Yes, by cranking some levers, grabbing some vodka, slotting a fuse, and a bit of Morse code, you signaled a Soviet submarine to emerge from the water. This one with an alien-like message from the foghorn. NGT Zombie forum members discovered that there were foghorns hanging around the lighthouse, and by process of elimination, the order was put together. At the base of the lighthouse, next to the pool of the water, after the slide to speed cola, around the right side of the corner in the water, at the base of the lighthouse, on the left-hand side next to the building, and finally, after the slide to speed cola, behind the huge rocks in the center. Doing this in the correct order told the submarine to shine a green light. And oh my god! These are the types of puzzles that nobody would believe at the lunch table. Can you imagine if you told your friends on a map with George Romero and a bunch of horror legends that there were lighthouses, dials, Morse code radios, green alien lights? Nobody would believe you. Now for the positioning of the green light, we needed to align the lighthouse dials. And this was one of the steps you could do early if you wanted. The player must set the security dials in the lighthouse to its proper code. There is a dial on each level, but discovering the code took a mix of looking for clues and having good pitch, because the sounds must align. Now this video goes over what they did and the process, but it's also in Spanish, and so I'm going to be playing a little bit, then going off a translation my friend gave me for the discovery of this one.
Aquí estamos colocando los números del faro. Estos números los sacamos de un vídeo de Next Gen Tactics, que es hasta donde han llegado ellos. Están distribuidos en unos papelitos tirados en el suelo por todo el mapa. Y bueno, tendréis un enlace al vídeo por si queréis verlo. Y hay que colocarlos en el orden. Yo estuve aquí un buen rato elaborando una forma de conseguirlo. Y bueno, podréis ver aquí una imagen de mi boceto.
He went around looking for numbers and writes them down on a piece of paper, testing a number combination and then writing it down on a piece of paper. The code was 2746 from top to bottom, and each dial had a color: yellow, orange, blue, purple, from top to bottom. This is an annoying task for a player to complete, because when a dial is changed, the ones below and above will increase by 1. To get the dials to become 2746, the steps that seem simple now must be followed. The dials to start out exactly the same every single time. Turn the purple dial until it's at the correct number, 6. Turn the orange dial until the blue dial is at the correct number, 4. Turn the yellow dial until the orange dial is at the correct number, 7. And the bottom 3 numbers should now be at the correct ratio from one another. Turn the yellow dial until it is at a correct number, 2, while counting the number of times it is turned. Turn the purple dial the same number of times as the yellow dial was previously turned. Turn the blue dial until it is back to the correct number. The purple and orange dials should now also be correct. The final result should have 2 with yellow dial, 7 on the orange dial, 4 on the blue dial, and 6 on the purple dial. If the dials aren't correct, just redo the turns again and they should fix themselves. The main hint Treyarch gave was in these little pieces of paper with numbers on them. The number 2 was found directly in front of the barrier next to Juggernog. The number 7 was found in front of the closed window behind and to the left of Stamina. The number 4 was found on the second floor of the lighthouse just to the right of the blue dial. And the number 6 was found in a life preserver next to the radio by Double Tap. Each slip's location was hinted at by the paintings around PhD Flopper, though some of the locations are vaguer than others. What was also over by PhD Flopper is a poster of Avenged Sevenfold, but I can't play the song, just know it's a jam. If all dials had the correct number, the submarine's green light would reflect into the lighthouse. There is one last step, and it required the other wonder weapon from this map, but it is also exclusive to Call of the Dead. Meet the VR-11. This weapon turns zombies into humans and causes other zombies to be attracted to the newly made human. This weapon was best used for support, even calming down George Romero on hits. The VR-11 was the key to the final steps of the Easter egg, and it's fitting, right? Ascension required all the wonder weapons, and while Call of the Dead only requires the VR-11, it makes sense that a zombie human weapon could be used for steps as unique as this Easter egg. On May 5th, only 2 days after the map's release, the team of the Dual Revolver, Poxy 7, Lefty 4711, and Amadaru shot a zombie with the VR-11, and after the green light was aligned with the Lighthouse, this happened.
En este caso teníamos el francotirador. Era Lefty el que lo convierte, ¿no? ¿Puede ser?
Sí, era yo.
Sí. Y Poche estaba arriba, situado en una zona, o sea, más o menos del centro, para que no lo perdiésemos de vista, y le pega con el francotirador. Se queda como en segunda oportunidad, se va para arriba, y suena la musiquita, ¿verdad? Yo no me he dado cuenta de la música, creo que tenía la música bajada ahora.
Sí, suena como una melodía extraña, sí.
Yeah, so not the perfect conclusion immediately, because the team thought that if they died with the golden rod, they would lose it. The sacrifice is made to something out there, and the Vril device, also known as the golden rod, comes down from the sky. It's just so sick.
Y finalmente recoge la cosita.
Your reward awaits at the door.
Kinda sick that I have to ask this, but Richtofen, is that a rod in your pocket?
9. Let's go. I've got us what we need.
Yeah, drunk.
Thank you so much for your help out there. Bye-bye.
Hey, what up? Should I get out and push?
The fuse box must have shorted out again.
Oh, come on. This better be more rewarding than last time. Stupid Gersh. Vodka!
Hey, everything you have. Can I get a prize?
Thank you again, stranger. Perhaps we will see you another time. Goodbye.
Yo, sauerkraut. You never did tell us why we came. Wherever this is.
All in good time, my clever dench. All in good time. Oh, that's what you get for eating raw fish.
Y ahí está, el logro por el...
Alright, that's it!
The Ensemble Cast achievement popped, and so did something new only on Xbox 360. A gamer picture was unlocked? That's right. You got the Ensemble Cast achievement. You also received a picture of Nikolai and Takeo. Now, I'm sure you're wondering where Richtofen and Dempsey are, but those two pictures are for another video. On top of both of the rewards for Xbox, you received the return of an iconic weapon. That's right, the Wonderwaff was back, making 3 wonder weapons on the map. Now replacing the Death Machine, you could get the Wonderwaff again after the Easter egg completion by killing George, or for waiting for a Death Machine to drop. This would drop full ammo for the Wonderwaff. Now, there are rumors that you can just start the Easter egg and then get the Wonderwaff if you kill George, but I haven't really tested that one out, so you'll have to let me know in the comments. I just want to take a moment to also say that if you wanted the true ending of Black Ops on the final map, you needed to have the Ensemble Cast achievement. Otherwise, you weren't going to make it happen. Funny enough, the world's first team said this.
Por cierto, un saludo al que le roba los vídeos a Vegeto.
Sí, otro de mi parte también.
World's first was in fact this team, and they were going to make sure nobody could thieve this one away. Now the solo stand-in achievement would unlock in co-op for some reason. The solo skips the dial steps, the Morse code steps, and the foghorn step, and it was uploaded for solo first by Telexian on May 4th of 2011, a day earlier than Ensemble Cast. and I'd be shocked if the world's first didn't credit him with discovering at least the final step. And with that, Call of the Dead is over. In Black Ops 4, Treyarch would release Tag der Toten, a remastered Call of the Dead, but without the standouts that made Call of the Dead its own unique map. It's why I say this map was never properly remastered. No George, no cast, the wonder weapons were changed, the fog and time of day are different. It's just not the same. Black Ops Easter eggs were all just so new in 2011, and now with the Vril device in hand for Dr. Richtofen, it's easy to see why players became obsessed with the zombie storyline. I hope you guys have enjoyed our journey into Call of the Dead. Debatably one of the best zombies maps ever made, and with a damn good Easter egg that pushed the boundaries of what zombies and any FPS could really do. I can't wait for the next one.